So if you're like me, you're probably not a big person on when it comes to wearing headbands all the time for light. Well, if you don't like headbands, but you really want a good headlamp, I might have something for you here. This is the Revival Gear Rechargeable LED headlamp with hat clip. Alright, welcome back. The folks at Revival Gear were nice enough to send this along. I have been looking for a headlamp that doesn't require a band all the time. Something that's convenient, small, you can stuff it in your pocket, super light. You can still use it with a headband, because it comes with a headband to clip onto. But you can put it on the lip of a hat and have it just as easily worn. This one happens to be very bright. It's got 4 light modes, and I'll show you the packaging over here. That's the packaging. I opened it up. Supposedly its top brightness is 100 lumens. It's an interesting 100 lumens because it's a cob LED. So it's one of those LEDs that kind of lights up an area. It kind of lights up a whole area, a glow. It's not a spotlight. So I found that kind of handy too, especially when you're walking somewhere where it's dark or out in the woods. The chip on board or cob LEDs, which are these long flat LEDs, are a little bit better at giving you a wider area of light. So it's powered by a lithium polymer battery. It has 4 different modes. It's got high, low, strobe, and ultraviolet. The little lights on the outside here are the UV lights. It can be recharged. It actually is rechargeable. There are no batteries to change out. You recharge it. And it's a fairly simple light to operate. So the modes, quickly, and I'll show you in the dark here in a minute. You got your high mode. That's your full on, full blast. Your low. Then you have the LED. Now the interesting thing about the ultraviolet light, I don't know if you can tell. Let me see if I can turn off the light and show you. Zoom it in on. If you can tell, it really is an ultraviolet light because ultraviolet stuff glows in it. So it actually does glow. So it's a real ultraviolet light. Let's put those lights back on again. So that's handy for spotting things like scorpion, and that's the last mode. I'm sorry, I skipped over that. A flasher. That's handy for things like spotting scorpions out there. If you're fishing and using the UV light, UV lures or fluorescent line, that's kind of handy too. Picks up blood, anything that shouldn't be where it is, or anything that gets identified with a ultraviolet light. You'll be able to do that with this light. To recharge it, and I'm going to give you an example here. This can be recharged with a solar panel. Again, less batteries to carry in your backpack. It's got 2.5 hours on the highest setting and 10 hours on the ultraviolet light. And those were the only specs it gave me. Didn't say how long it operated on the, you got the high, then you got the low. Didn't give me any information on that or the strobe, but I'm assuming it's more than 2.5 hours. So you'd plug it in here. If you notice, there's a red light on there. When that red light turns green, it's fully charged. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shut off all the lights, and I'm going to give you a little look and see about the brightness of what you're going to get with it. So we'll be right back. I don't know if you can see it, but the button, probably can't see it. The button you push actually glows in the dark after it's been charged with a little bit of light. This is its first setting, okay? So there's your first setting. You see, it's a nice warm glow. It's very wide. There's not a straight beam. It's a very wide view. It's your next level, and of course, it's got the LED flicker. And here is your. See how that glows? That's, by the way, that's Kaylin Strain's channel sticker there. You see how the top of that orange glows on there? So it is a real ultraviolet light. Okay, so there's your UV, and there's your flasher. Let's get back the lights on here, and we'll finish up, and I'll tell you what I think of it and tell you where you can pick it up. So anyway, I'm pretty pleased with it. I messed around with it a little bit last night, walking around out here and outside in the dark with it. Very, very nice, very handy. You may be wondering if it tilts on the edge of a hat. It does. So you can tilt it down to read something in front of you or to look down in front of you. Generally, when you're walking with these, you will be tilting them down a little bit because straight out isn't very useful to you. You kind of want to see what's in front of you and what's in front of you on the ground as well. So they do tilt. They're very easy to take on and off. Worst comes to worst, you can stick this on the headband here, like that, if you're not into wearing it on the on your cap. But I think I'm going to be trying it out on the cap more often, mainly because it's so small and it can be recharged at your campsite with a solar panel in the daytime, with a battery bank, whatever. It's a real simple, small package. I mean, when you think about it, if that's what you're taking in your bag, how does that measure up to, say, one of the bigger flashlights I've shown you? So it's a really kind of neat system. I'm really enjoying it. This is the Revival Gear Rechargeable LED headlamp with hat clip. I'm going to give you a link down below where you can pick it up. And it is available on Amazon. And I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.